All right, here's my project for the day. This is like a Rossmonster Baja, I believe. Pretty sweet rig with a 350 chassis, monster tires, huge lift, pop top that goes up and down. Having some electrical issues in here. That's nice aluminum door. Some electrical issues on this Victron system. Guy has battery system that's dead. It's just a BMV, Aqua Hot, Firefly. And then down in here is our electrical box. And it's kind of a mess. I expected, I don't know what I expected, maybe a little bit more. Couple of things going on in here that I would have totally done differently. So for one, we have three 330 amp hour batteries, Victron batteries. They're controlled by the CL BMS, which is like an alternator charger slash, external BMS. And the one battery back there was just totally dead, so it shut the whole system down. These two batteries were fine, the voltages were fine. And we're thinking that that battery died because of the way it was wired. Now these batteries are like wired in parallel, meaning that a positive goes to a positive terminal, and then to all the loads, charging and discharging. And it usually goes in a bank of three, right? It goes from battery 1, 2 to 3, or in this case, it went from this battery to this battery to this battery terminal, and then to the switch, and then it's distributed. And then the negative should be completely opposite of that. But in this case, it wasn't like that. It kind of went from here, goes from here to here to here, which is battery 1 to 3, then to 2. So I'm thinking that is the issue, because we charged this battery back up over here, and it seems to be holding a charge fine. Bluetooth came on, and it seems to be okay when it's by itself. Total challenge to kind of connect all the data cables to the batteries. Have to lift up this whole platform. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple other things going on here that I don't like. I mean, the MPPT on its back, it's not good for, the heat dissipation. They have cooling fins on there that are designed to be utilized in a vertical orientation. The the Multiplus is connected via 2-aught cable. Actually, everything's 2-aught cable, which is a little undersized. The Victron recommends a single 4-aught cable over here. There doesn't seem to be a remote on-off switch for this thing, right? Like I said, there's only a BMV up here. There's no multi-control turn on for the Multiplus. There's no GX Touch, which in a rig that's, several hundred thousands of dollars, you think you'd get a GX Touch and a Cerbo on here, but we do not. So I'm not sure how this thing gets turned on. Do you just lift up the seat and turn the switch on and off? It's kind of bush league. Also, I don't see a separate fuse for this Multiplus. This links power in, I think, is just a negative bus bar. Our positive bus bar is kind of sandwiched in right here, so there's lots of things potentially that aren't fused. We've got a fuse inherent on the CL BMS. I guess our solar are fused here. It's tight. Yeah, it's tight. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of repair just to get this thing back working the way it should be by rewiring the batteries and then just seeing how the system responds. Under here is the Aqua Hot. I mean, look at all that room. Tons of room there. I know there might be some, ABYC or RVIA standard to keep the plumbing and the electrical separate, but I mean, there's plumbing right there. I definitely would have put those boxes, those enclosures, right in there. Saved a lot of space. So let's do some repair and get it back working. All right, so here we are. The system is back on. You can hear the inverter charging away. We have the solar on too, so we have about 110 amps coming in. Really what I did was I rewired the batteries, in parallel like I described before, where you're pulling the positive and the negative off of the opposite ends of the batteries when they're wired in parallel. I didn't change the wire gauges. I didn't really change anything else. I just wanted to get this system back up and running and you know, moving on to the next step of really testing it out to see how the batteries are going to behave now. Looks like there's a little lock washer that I missed. That's where that extra one was. So now that this is working, the client is going to monitor his system, 108 amps, until we're back up to 100% state of charge, and we're going to let this, the programming of the Multiplus and the BMS give the batteries the proper cell balancing charging stage that they need in the absorption stage, and get everything really actually 100% full. And then we'll turn off all the chargers and monitor the system for any you know, loads that are draining the system. Just finished up the Rossmonster job today. You can see we moved our MPPT and our solar breakers over into this compartment. We have our Cerbo GX right here. Also have a big hole, 3-inch hole there, and a hole here because I hooked up the relay in the Cerbo GX to power this little fan that was just via a manual switch, which was kind of silly. You'd have to take a temperature of the compartment and then turn the fan on, but now it will automatically turn on, and we just use that temp sensor that comes in the Multipluses right there. So it's set to 90, turns off at 80. And I'm going to send some vent covers to him to install. So now when the cushions are on top of here, this fan is going to pull air all through here, keep that compartment nice and cool. We have our HDMI and our USB cords, you know, routing through the van. It's a 20-foot run, which is pretty long. I also updated the DC fuse block from a 6 circuit to a 12 circuit. Added a few other ones, cleaned up some wiring there. I didn't do anything else. I didn't rewire the batteries. It's just too big of a job, and I'm just going to leave it how it is. It's been working fine. Rossmonster did it this way. I'm just going to let it go and have the system work the way it's been working. But we moved some things around up here. I added the smart shunt, took out the BMV. Now the smart shunt is supplying information to the Cerbo. The solar charge controller is supplying information to the Cerbo. And yeah, and that screen is up over here now, next to our AquaHot system and next to our Firefly. And it's showing, you know, all the things that we needed to show. Plus, we have it connected to the VRM, so this guy's able to understand his system a lot better. You know, I'm able to remote in. He's able to check on his system remotely from his house via the internet. And yeah, just the compartments cleaned up. We've upgraded, you know, just a lot of the installation and design and just features. There's still a lot of room for improvement, but as it is now, things are working good, and that's what we want.